Okay, I want to say hi again everybody. It's only me, Wushu Richard. I'm just walking around in the burning hot sun, tropical heat, walking down this pathway, okay, in nature. And in this video I'm just going to talk to you about, just briefly with you if I can, about my take on combat and in fighting in general. It's like this, right? The way I see it in terms of real fighting is the more physical power you've got in your body, the better, right? Definitely, without a doubt. So all that flexibility, right? You know, strength, endurance, you know, your physique, you know what I mean? Your breathing, it's all got to be there. But what I'm going to say is, I've always talked about technique, haven't I? As in traditional, like, as in martial arts techniques. You know, that what you use to actually, we're going to go this way by the way, what, you know, techniques that you would use to actually fight, okay, with, and how the techniques are the most important things. It's not only power, right? I'm just going to stand here under the shade for a moment. I really believe that, okay? I really believe that, but what I'm going to say is like this. I've been trying to work on my strength more anyway recently. As I say, I've been trying to do some more weights, okay? I'm trying to get back into my weights, you know, pumping shit up, as I say, you know, doing the weights with the dumbbells, right? I've got some dumbbells at home. I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder, but just trying to get a bit more strength working out and, you know, doing that. And I do a lot of working out for my whole body in martial arts in general, and looking at that, you know, that's all it basically is. I mean, I do stance work, I do all that, the squats and stuff, you know, for the legs, you know, and the whole body, and all these stretch exercises and all of that. That's training strength in my body, right? You're getting more power in your body. Not only the flexibility, but it's bringing power into you. You know what I'm saying? You get stronger through doing flexibility. Like I've said before, like if you were to just go down the gym and pump weights all the time, you wouldn't necessarily get more flexible, right? But when you do flexibility training and different kinds too, as in stance work, legs, you know, all that upper body leans and all kinds of stuff, you're strengthening your body. You're learning about balance. Every tendon, every bit of part of your body, the muscles are having to get stronger and to hold the body in certain positions, and as you move and transition to the other positions. So, you know, people underestimate a lot of the strength in certain athletes, I feel, and things like that, like, you know, what do you call it, gymnastics, you know what I mean, like aerobics, whatever you're doing, you know, dancing. But, you know what I'm trying to say, they underestimate that. Traditional wushu, like kung fu, you know what I mean? It's not only the flexible, fluid show, like you're a piece of rubber, it's not, I mean, you are strong within yourself, you know, it's like that. It's an iron thread or whatever, you know, all that kind of philosophy. It's like water has a substance, you know what I mean? It holds together. You know what I'm trying to say, as such. You see what I'm trying to say? It's this thing. It is soft, but it's a thing, you know. So water can have immense power and things like that, you know, but it's like it's flowing and it can be flexible enough, you know. So what I'm trying to say though is, that being said, I still believe in combat, in real fighting, and this is the point of my video here. This is the point of this video. Because I've talked about this stuff in the past before, but in this video I'm just giving you a quick point here. I believe, I realise this now, that, and I really do believe this, that, you know, at the end of the day, people are different anyway in their physiques, right? So let's continue walking down this way while I talk to you. People are different in their physique, their build, I should say, their stature, their whole body, as in who they are as a person anyway. Hold on one second as I walk past this massive butterfly. Tropical butterflies flying around. Yeah, you know, men and women, for example, usually men are bigger and stronger than women in terms of the natural physique. I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying most of them. But you've got to be real about this. You know, adults and kids, you know, or big strong youths, let's say, compared to an old age pensioner. We've got natural builds that are different. Some people are more naturally bigger and stronger. Some people are, again, if you're doing different kinds of working out in the gym and stuff, then you get people that are bigger and stronger as a result of that. and the same with flexibility training and all that. But I'm talking about the natural stuff. I'm talking about the natural build of a person, right? As in, people in general are different in their builds, right? No matter what happens, okay? No matter what kind of training they do, their body's always going to be different. It's like, I mean, to an extent, I'm saying, you can work out to a degree, but, you know, if you get someone who's like more bigger built as such, and then they start taking up bodybuilding or working out, I'm not saying everyone, I'm not saying 100%, but I'm saying a lot of people, there will still be, if one of those guys is a more slimmer build, a more thinner, shorter, whatever he is, you know, he's always going to be that person, no matter what. So what I'm trying to say is, it's the same with a woman. Now you get young girls, like young teenage girls or young, you know, young adults, girls, females, doing kickboxing or karate and martial arts, and they're always going to be that build. They're not going to be like, I mean, compared to some big tough guy out there, they may come against some big tough man who's big, like The Rock, you know, Dwayne Johnson or someone else, just as someone who's a bit bigger though, let's say. You know what I'm trying to say? They're always going to be the build that they are. I mean, they're always going to be this individual, right? That individual. If you can understand what I'm trying to say, but like me, for example, I can do all the weights and that, but for the most part, I'm always going to have a Richard physique. Even if I was to build myself up to be a bodybuilder, I'd still have a Richard physique. Some people might not agree with me here, what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is, okay, for the most part, if you're just people, not going to the extreme, you know, but it's like, if you're saying, if you're just people doing martial arts, doing fitness training, you might go for a run, you might do swimming, you might do a bit of weights, you might do a bit of flexibility like I do. I'm not the absolute, I'm not training literally 24/7 and bodybuilding, you know, or like doing, you know, even the Kung Fu, the Wushu forms every day, even all day like I used to. I'm keeping myself flexible enough. I'm doing a full body stretching in the morning, trying to get more weights in when I can, a bit of weights. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm always going to have a kind of like Richard build. I'm not going to become like you know, The Rock, am I? I'm just using a very, very extreme example there, just to explain that. So if you imagine, you know, a young girl, let's say, you know, in whatever build she's in, a slim build, you know, she's always going to be, she's going to be who she is. You see what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is, and again, young people, old people, you see what I'm trying to say? You're going to get the differences. I'm going to stand in the shade for a few moments while I speak to you. So you see what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, the way you fight really does depend. Some people who are slimmer or shorter or whatever, they can still be really, really good fighters. They can still defend themselves against the most bigger, tougher opponents. And this goes back to the old thing about the old traditional martial arts of Kung Fu, all that, you know, Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Wing Chun, Aikido, Ninjutsu, Karate, Taekwondo, and then fair enough, kickboxing, you know, Muay Thai, fair enough, you know, the tradition. This is what the martial arts do for people, you know, as opposed to just being a big strong oath, you know, a big, you know. They can grab hold of people and break them and strike them, you know. I'm trying to say, traditional martial arts have a fluidity about them. Traditional martial arts have that characteristic, fluidity, absorbingness, simple techniques that when someone grabs you, you're able to, you've got economy of motion, you do simple movements to adjust your position, you know, so you're able to defend against what would be an absolute crush on you in a negative way. If you've got an opponent grabbing, you know, some big tough guy grabbing hold of a young girl, let's say, like a young teenage girl, let's say, you know, and trying to inflict his massive body, you know, on her, or trying to attack her, trying to punch her. If she's got some good maneuverability, you know, hand and footwork, you know, some good kicks, some good stances, some blocking, some absorbing moves, so when someone's grabbing on, she can absorb, turn, just absorb all of the force, whatever's coming in, pulling or pushing, that she's able to be like water in her body and absorb it, so that when the person pushes, they go falling by and they're not able to, you know what I mean, so they become like a swinging door, almost a swinging door, you know, so that she's able to make her body like a swinging door, like a ball that, like of water, that the opponent can't grab hold of because of her flexibility, her structure. Counter strikes coming in from all angles, you know, and she's fluid and fast and accurate and able to, you know, got good health in her own physique. She doesn't need to match up to his, you see what I'm trying to say? So this is the whole philosophy of martial arts again. She will still be able to win the day and get away. So me, knowing this myself, and just sort of, I know my structure, my route and that, my core, you know, my skills and my abilities, I know that's what does it for me, the traditional martial arts. I'm not saying I'm the best fighter. I'm not saying that I'm really going to be able to defend myself in all situations. There may be a lot more situations that I'll probably get my ass knocked out and handed to me by street thugs and stuff, or just be not ready, be it due to fear or be it due to just literally my ability. I'm not going to boast and say that I am such a good martial artist I can stand up to everybody. Be more better at running maybe. But then again, if you want to be a good runner, you should breathe more, you should do more running. I used to do a bit of jogging anyway, but I'm just saying that. Not too much, but the traditional martial arts that I do know what I know, and I know a lot of ability. I know my abilities. I've got a lot of skill. I know how to block. I know different locks and stances. I know good handwork, footwork. From traditional styles. So I know, and I've got trust in what I do because I know from the actual training. I know whenever I'm training with someone or sparring with people, I know what I can do. And the same when I'm training by myself too. I know the amount of energy I can deliver, and I know the amount of energy that I can basically deflect or absorb into nothingness and let fade away. What I mean is like it's a balance between the energy that you are able to generate, as in like your punches, your kicks, and the power, which depends on your endurance, physique training, and all that, and then your punch work, push-ups, punching on the bag, doing your weights, doing your running up stairs, running up hills and stuff, breathing, all the whatever the crazy stuff you're doing, squats, actually you're generating fighting power, and then the other part is the skills and the ability to like block and absorb when the opponent's energy is coming, so you're turning their energy into nothing basically. They're not able to grab hold of you and hurt you with their strikes or grabs. So looking at that, it's like that's what it is. Like I'm trying to tell myself to train to be even more stronger and by adding some like weights training on top of my already like full body workouts that I do, stretching and that. But it's like at the same time I know that I don't have to I'm not trying to make excuses, but I know that I don't have to like really overdo it. And the same for you too. You don't have to. It's like the skills in the martial arts are so great. It's like a lot of people try and build themselves up as as big bodybuilders. I believe a lot of people who do MMA spend a lot of time in the gym, or a lot of people that want to who do MMA, let's say, not even like the biggest like ring fighters, but just people that do MMA or even people that do a lot of martial arts. There's still people out there that spend more time down the gym and that, and I'll be the first one to even say, as I always have, working out's the most important thing. Your fitness is the key to the martial art. You've got to have the fitness, so you can do the techniques. But a lot of these people aren't like that. A lot of these people, they practice the martial arts technique, the MMA, let's say. A lot of these other people who do MMA, not necessarily traditional, but some of them do traditional, like I do, but I'm just saying, some of these people, they just spend more time working on their physique and making themselves bigger and stronger. So there's a difference. You've got to choose what you want to do. You could go to the gym and pump up like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You could turn into a bodybuilder and just have some simple techniques, but just make yourself really big and strong now, so you're able to just like manhandle any little small guys. And that's a whole war in itself of developing yourself as a man or woman. But I'm just saying, with me though, it's like I've always been into the martial arts and the skills and the abilities, but you can't be as weak and soft as a motherfucker. You've got to train your abilities. So you've got to train some strength on them as well. So it's hard, you've got to balance it. But for me though, definitely I'm just saying to people, I wouldn't think that you have to literally kill yourself out with workouts, is what I'm trying to say, that you've got no energy to be training the moves, because you might, if you practice a lot of moves, you're able to generate power. I've just used the example there of like a young teenage girl, let's say, who wants to defend herself against some big, stronger male attacker, let's say. She'd still be able to fight. She may still be able to defend herself really well, right? Those kicks, those abilities, I'm saying, the blocks, the attacks, the counter strikes, the absorbing movements, it's been shown. Basic kickboxing, karate, Wing Chun, Aikido moves, it's just all epic, really, really good. I stand up for it all. I don't give a damn what anyone says. Taekwondo, karate, wushu forms, Bagua, Tai Chi, it's all epic, man. Ninjutsu basics. Cynthia Rothrock's amazing, I know, but she's just like she's just great. But I'm not saying her. I'm just saying whoever you are, you can still do some training, a man or a woman, boy or girl. But what I'm trying to say is, the skills are really what save you sometimes at the end of the day, because you can be the biggest, toughest guy. You might fight wars, trying to like build yourself up in physique, and at the end of the day, it's not always going to be about the power. It's not always going to be about the muscle, as in terms of what you can that you can pick someone up by their throat. It's not about that, or that you're able to wrestle so good, or you're able to, stand there and show your power. Because at the end of the day, you could get hurt really badly. So the martial art techniques, what it's all about, the fluidity, the absorbing, the simple techniques, you know, that's what I feel. So really, I really still believe in the traditional martial arts, and I believe we should spend more time focusing on the moves. You know, I'm going to stop this video now to say just take care, okay guys, and just train on both, you know, the abilities and also the, you know, the power and that, the flexibility, the power, the strength training and all of that, you know. But definitely, you know, I wouldn't do one to the extreme, and if you are doing one more than the other, think about what you want to do, you know. Just something to think about, you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, I know my physique, and my goal is to like be adding the weights on top of all what I'm doing. You know, I will be continuing to do that on top of my stretching and stuff, but I'm not going to overdo it and bang myself out. It's like, I know that because there's a lot of tough guys out there, is what I'm trying to say. There's people that go down the gym all the time, there's people that, and so can we, yeah, but I'm saying there's people, I see these people online, you see them in real life, you see people walking down the street with muscly arms, big body, chest, arms, and some of these tough guys, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, shit, you know, am I trying to work up to be like that? And yeah, in some way I'm trying to work out to be much more stronger, and that's what I'm going to be working towards, definitely. But at the end of the day, I'm saying one day you'll be walking down the street, and even if you did look half decent, even if you were in your physique, you such like that or whatever, you'd still have people that are basically more or less the same or the opposite. Now it's good to have more power in you, and if you've got more martial arts ability than these thugs, then that's even better. But it's all about that, you know, whether you're doing kung fu, Shaolin kung fu, or, you know, karate, real traditional hardcore training, Muay Thai or boxing, you know, at the end of the day, you do what you can, you know, you do what you can. It's about how you push yourself. But it's hard when you've got life and you've got work and everything else, you know what I mean? But it's something to think about. So I'm going to be trying to work out more. It's tropical heat here, so I'll be trying to do more weights when I can. It's hard for me to get a lot of stuff in, you know, with work and that, you know, doing my wushu forms. I'm not doing it like I used to do, you know, so much. I still remember them and do what I can. Even weapon training like the bow staff, just for that, the ability, or like some working out. Of course, I'm not doing so much like I used to. So I'm just doing my basic stretching every day, doing some basic techniques, and you know, reviewing all the martial art techniques I know, even basic kickboxing. I mean, I do my Wing Chun mainly as my main art. You know, I'm still teaching people, but it's like, you know what I'm trying to say though. But it's like I don't want to let myself down for like my punching power, for the like kickboxing kind of part, boxing, karate, Muay Thai, solid shots, you know, solid body. As such, I've still got to keep it up, you know. Same with my flexibility for my legs that I'm always doing, stretching and stance work, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, do what you will, but for most people in this day and age, they're doing MMA anyway, even like more slimmer guys. So they're just building themselves up, going down the gym or whatever it's going to be, because they know they need to be big and strong like that, right? So they're, for the actual kind of fighting arts that are available to people now, as such, more so, people are doing more kind of that kind of a workout kind of a stuff anyway. And the way I've always said it, as I see, just from my point of view, the traditional martial arts is much better compared to this MMA stuff and sports stuff. If you've got more of a traditional background, and then you do something like kickboxing or Muay Thai, then you'll be going in much better with a more fluidity about yourself. You'll be able to you'll have different understanding of different blocking and techniques in close quarters, like real street fight confrontation. But you know, it's not a beautiful dance of kung fu forms and karate katas. I'm not pissing around. It's like training, but I'm just saying, right, it's a different way of training, is what I'm trying to say, traditional martial arts. So people out there who don't have a damn clue what I'm saying, basically, you know, if you're thinking that I'm talking about like coming from a modern MMA, right, realistic, kind of, as you may think and see it as, you know, way of fighting, then definitely I think the best thing you do is stick to the way of training as an MMA professional, as in training all those moves, and the kind of training that they do, it requires you to have a very, very big, strong body and physique. But if you understand something about traditional martial arts, you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's like, you're not trying to be a bodybuilder, you're not trying to build yourself into that. It's like you want to have the fluidity, the agileness. I know you see a lot of fluidity and agileness, or such agility, in MMA. I'm just saying it's a different kind of structure, depending on the structure of the kung fu you're doing. Bagua, Wing Chun, whatever it is, and people don't understand that because they reject all this knowledge. They see it as a flashy dance when they see these forms, or when they see applications, they don't want to believe in it, and people put this stuff down on videos and stuff, you know, and that's what happens, you know, so they don't realise this is a real deep knowledge. So I know what I'm talking about though, but even myself, knowing like the soft movements like the white crane or the Wing Chun and Tai Chi, and a bit of Bagua, fair enough, it's like at the same time I still know that I want to get that soccer punch shot straight in, fluidity, you know what I'm saying, when you got to go in with that boxing or karate. So working some strength into the arms, I'll be doing more weights. You see me doing a bit. I stopped for a while because I had stuff going on, but I mean stuff that I had to be careful in that, but it's like I'm going to get back into it in the summer holidays and do more strength working out. I'm just trying to remind people to not get too obsessed in one area of exertion. There's a fair amount, decently daily or whatever it can be, but it's like then you've got exertion doing too much, and it's like you'd be more beneficial to spend more time practicing the moves. And if you've got someone to practice with, you'll start to realise in what moves, you know, what you would need in a real fight or this or that, you know what I mean? Practicing punch, kick, combos, knees, elbow, blocks, strikes, how to grab, practicing your grabs, practicing how to absorb, get into locks, basic self-defence, you know what I mean? Trapping, going in, traditional martial arts, you know, how to absorb an attack, divert their attacks, you know, into nothing. It's a real structure of traditional martial arts. You'd be more better off studying how to actually fight from different situations when you come in when you're stuck in a sticky situation, you know. Or when the time comes to rumble, when you've got to blast, shoot that elbow strike in, or shoot that fist punching straight through into the head, you want to make sure you've got power, right? So that's where we need some strength training. That's what I'll say. But just think about what I've said. It's just been an interesting chat for you guys. Thanks for watching. Bow.